Hello, I'm a Marvel Rivals and Overwatch coach. In this video, I wanted to talk about how to properly VOD review, so you will be able to effectively improve by yourself. I've been able to accumulate all the info about that topic during 7 years of coaching hundreds of players and multiple teams. Let's get started. Let's start with common problems when players are VOD reviewing. First, listing every mistake. You do not have to list every mistake you're noticing because you'll be overwhelmed with too many things to work on and it might demotivate you. Second, focusing too much on mechanics. A lot of players are way too focused on mechanics and trying to hit all their shots, but in reality, for most people, mechanics is not a main problem. Fixing decisions and positioning is more important usually, and if you fix those, then mechanics will be fixed too. For example, imagine how much easier it's gonna be to position your crosshair if you can take a position which allows you to hit shots easier, and if you're able to anticipate where enemy might be and how they're gonna move. Third, watching death and lost fights. It's not good enough to just watch lost fights and death. A lot of times players treat dying as a bad thing and then start focusing on safety way too much. But imagine if you're trying to play extremely safe, then you might end up not influencing the fight at all, which is really a big problem. Sometimes there can be good lost fights and death. For example, if you have a spawn advantage and then got a pick but died, then it's really good death usually because you can get back on the field faster. Or you can lose the fight but enemy used all of their ultimates, so it's good because next fight you will have better ult economy. That is why I would simply focus on how to add more value each fight. It might be okay to watch why you or your teammates died too, but think what you can do in a proactive way as well. Let's talk about how to actually VOD review. If you do not know what to work on, you need to start with diagnosis. First of all, identify what you need to work on. You need to get a feel of what you need to work on in general and then be more specific in details. Usually it's good to start with one of the big themes. It can be decisions, positioning, timing, tempo, mechanics, or how effectively you practice. Just choose one theme and watch the game through the lens of that theme. You can break down all the themes on smaller topics. To give a few examples, I would do it this way. With positioning theme, you can be paying attention to how you play around cover, what angle you choose, at what range you play, and making sure you contribute to locations where most of your team is taking a fight. I call those areas skill zones. For decisions, it can be target priority, ability usage, ult usage, scouting, cooldowns, ultimates, and threats position. Regarding timing, it can be timing with your team in general, timing with your tank, and timing with your team's ultimates and cooldowns. Tempo is all about knowing how to use an advantage and play a disadvantage. For mechanics, it can be aim, mouse control, and your movement. An effective practice is all about warm-up, playtime, hero pool, how proactive you are, how you VOD review, and other similar things. When you watch your games through the lens of certain theme, you need to identify a pattern. The biggest 2-3 problems you notice with your gameplay, which are preventing you from getting enough value. I recommend to do diagnosis VOD review 1-2 times a month. When doing diagnosis VOD review, just have a theory of what you need to work on and try this out later and see how it works. For example, here, I wanted to do a diagnosis VOD review. First off, in my recent games, it felt like timing of my pressure was off, so I decided to watch my games through the lens of that theme. After watching multiple fights, I noticed a pattern that a lot of times I engage way too early and not timing pressure together with my team when using an ultimate. After that, all I had to do is to just go in and practice applying the things which I noticed. During your practice, you simply need to play and work on the bigger things. It can be okay to list up to 3 things to work on during your game session, but just choose one to practice during the game. This way, you keep it clear and concise. Keep rotating goals each round or game to help you to deal with autopilot, and practice till something what you focus on becomes more natural. After you practice, you can VOD review again. This type of VOD review is all about seeing how are the improvements on the things you've been practicing. Find what improvements you see and what improvements you can make. Usually it's good to do those types of VOD review 1-2 times per week and spend around 50-20 minutes on those. To summarize, do diagnosis VOD review when you do not know what to work on. After that, look to practice the concepts and do VOD review again to find improvements and things to fix in addition. win. Remember, it's important to simplify your goals and not overwhelm yourself with too many concepts at once. Through consistent practice and VOD review, you will see improvements over time. If you want to know more how to practice effectively, then you can find me on Medify. I do free consultations for new students and have a Discord server where I have a lot of useful materials and help players for free. All links in the description down below.